Picking up olive oil at the supermarket should be easy, right? But most stores have half an aisle dedicated to a dizzying number of brands and bottles. With so many choices, how do you know which is best for your kitchen? Let's put it to the taste. Joining me today is Julia Collin-Davison. She's Executive Editorial Director, and you might recognize her from Julia at Home. Thanks for coming today.
My pleasure.
So how do you feel about tasting olive oil?
You know, it's not my favorite.
Oh, no.
I know people love to do it, and I want to like it, but I feel like I do it wrong. It always tastes bitter, my throat burns. So I'm excited to learn the right way to do it. So tell me, how do you taste olive oil?
We have these glasses, and as you can see, they're almost like little wine glasses. They have a lot of headspace. The smell of olive oil is actually what gives you the first signals of what the olive oil is going to taste like. And you want to warm it up a little bit.
Oh, you do?
So yeah, it's almost like cheese. You know, you can really taste cheese when it's a little bit warm. So you're going to put the bottom in your hand,
All right.
and then you're going to cover the top with your other hand, and you're just kind of rotate it around, the base of it around in your hand a little bit to warm it up.
I have hot little hands. This
Yeah,
shouldn't
me
take
too.
long.
This is like, yeah, hot. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to uncover it and stick your nose right in the glass.
Oh,
And you can
wow.
already, right? That
Yeah.
really releases a lot of the scent.
Smells like olives.
Yeah, you're going to take a little sip, not too much at a time, and you're going to try to sip a little air in with it. Right? It opens it up more.
It does. Now, does it always burn your throat?
It depends on the olive,
Okay.
but a little bit of throat burn is actually okay.
Okay.
It shouldn't actually be an unpleasant burn, but sometimes that little cough is actually, that's a sign of a very fresh olive oil with a lot of
Okay.
polyphenols, which are causing that reaction, and also a little anti-inflammatory going on. So it's,
Interesting.
it's all good. So one of the things that we do in between samples is we're going to be nibbling a little bit of green apple and drinking a little water, because that aftertaste that lingers, that little bit of oiliness, that can influence your taste of the next one. And if you're going to be tasting a different olive oil, you're going to get some carryover.
Okay.
So that'll be our protocol for going in between samples.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Cheers.
There's the little bit of bite, but not too much.
Yeah.
It's not painful. Thank
Good.
goodness.
I actually want to cause pain.
You know, it's very mild. I could use this in pretty much anything.
I thought it was pretty neutral as well. It had a nice scent, but the follow-up flavor was a little kind of more, I hate to say, a little boring.
But it's not negative. I don't,
No.
and nothing off, nothing gasoline-y, nothing crayon-y. You know those descriptর when you have bad olive oil. I don't
Yeah.
get any of that.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh.
like, it's kind of fine.
I hope it's not expensive.
Yeah. let's hope. It is
Oh.
Botticelli.
I'm noticing it says product of, and it lists about 5 different countries. So this isn't just a single source. This is a lot of sources blended together.
That's right. A lot of supermarket olive oils and more inexpensive olive oils are made from blends, and they're from different countries. So even though you see a name like Botticelli, which is super Italian, these olives are not grown exclusively in Italy. They may come from Spain, Tunisia, Portugal, Greece. Those are some of the more common ones. In fact, even back in ancient Roman times, most of the olive oil came from Spain.
Interesting.
So you really do have this sense that, like, oh, olive oil, Italian. They use a lot of olive oil. They love it. And they used to do this thing where they'd take all these different ones from different countries and then bottle them in Italy and say, made in Italy.
Ah, sneaky.
Yeah, Italy is not that big a country to get that kind of volume of olive oil out. But, you know, they are blending it there sometimes, and sometimes it's just a name.
Gotcha. So that means it's a more consistent product, too, if you're always blending. You probably
Yes.
have an ideal and you blend to that ideal.
Definitely, and if one area has like bad weather and the crop is more expensive or fails, they can take from different places. So they're going to blend and pick and choose.
It's a lot
each
like
year.
wine, a wine
Exactly.
blend, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, there's the burn.
A little bit,
but it's not unpleasant.
Much more mild going down, basically.
Yeah. Has a hair more flavor than the first one, but I'd say it's still pretty mild. I could see using this in a lot of different applications.
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things about using olive oil is depending on what food you put it with, you will definitely get a different effect. Just like when you're drinking red or white wine with different, you know, fish or red meat.
I don't think this is a wow olive oil, but it's lovely.
Yeah, it had a nice scent. I thought it smelled really kind of nice and fresh. The flavor was a little milder. It was more buttery, I thought. than
Buttery,
the
a
other
little
one.
almondy.
Yeah, it was really pleasant. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh my God, rock my world.
It's
but
an easy going olive oil.
Right, very smooth. it is
Oh,
Filippo Berio.
I know that brand. That brand's sold everywhere.
Yeah, that's a really huge supermarket brand.
And this also, I noticed the first one had a date on it. This one has a date on it. And this has a Best By date. So did the first one. But that's not a harvest date.
Right.
Can you have both dates on a bottle?
Yeah, I mean, how about half of our lineup has harvest dates and the other half only has Best By dates? And the problem is, harvest dates will tell you when they picked and pressed those olives. Usually in the Northern Hemisphere, that's in the fall, and the oils hit stores in the following spring. If it says Best By, they can put anything they want on that. Those are not regulated. And that can be put on up to a year after the oils are picked and pressed. So they'll pick, press them, stick them in stainless steel tanks, which are very neutral, and then hold them until they need them, bottle them, put a Best By date that's 2 years from then. So it can be 3 years old before you're like, oh, this is still good for another 3 months. Yeah, it could be 3 years old. And that is
Gotcha.
not a good sign in what's supposed to be a fresh product.
Okay, so you're better off looking for a harvest date on the bottle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Look for one within the previous year.
Gotcha. But I have to say, all things considered, I know this is found everywhere. It's not very expensive, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's really suitable. I would cook with this pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely.
How many do we have of these?
10.
All right.
It's going to be great.
We're in it now. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't get olives.
No.
That's what always bums me out. I
Right.
don't taste olives. I get bitter. I've got the thing on the back, but not in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
And then I got nothing else.
I thought it went really flat very fast. Like,
Yeah.
the smell was kind of good. The first taste was like, oh, it's a little buttery. And then, boom, gone.
Nothing.
Just oil.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, why?
Why
am I?
bother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get canola oil at that point.
Yeah,
It has no
exactly.
flavor.
I feel the same way. All right, so this one for me is up. Oh, no.
Shocker. I know.
I know that.
Colavita.
Yeah, that brand's everywhere.
It is. It has great ads because you think, oh, olive groves and sunshine.
Yeah, they're
and-
very lush.
yeah.
Memorable.
And unlike the olive oil, the ads are more memorable.
I'm looking again because I've learned from you to look for dates.
Yeah, Best By date 11, 20,
Oh, there.
25. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's another year supposedly that this is good.
Yeah.
It's not good now, right?
That's true.
I don't want to wait a year to
Oh.
find out how it's like holding up.
I'm sad to learn about this one, actually.
Yeah, it is disappointing, which is the really good part about tasting them randomized, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not looking to know what the label is. We take away all identification and you really taste it. It has to stand on its own merits, and sometimes it does not.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Colavita.
Warming it up,
Makes me feel like a witch.
double, toil
Toil
and trouble. Okay.
This one's milder than the aroma would let me to believe. It's very smooth,
Yeah.
almost a little grassy.
Yeah.
Like it smelled like summer, not
It
fresh
did,
cut
yeah.
grass, but kind of heading in that direction.
Right. It was brighter. It was like it was a lighter, fresher taste than we've had in some of the other ones.
Yeah, fresh. It tastes fresh.
We have Pompeian.
Interesting. You know, in my head, this has been on the supermarket shelves for a long time, plastic bottle. I thought the quality, just knowing the bottle and that it's not very expensive, would be a lot lower than it is. That was actually quite pleasant.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. We have tasted this oil in previous years, and every time we taste, we remove all identifying marks. We just taste it completely randomized. Every single taster tastes in a different order. And I was surprised because this one actually wasn't bad, and in the past, it wasn't good. Personally, I think that over the past 5-10 years, all the American consumers have become more savvy about olive oil, and some of the companies have had to kind of step up their game. And this may be
Interesting.
one.
And it has lots of countries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 countries on there. That's a lot of blending.
That's a record. But yeah, that's, one of the ways that they can guarantee a consistent product year round.
Right, and a relatively low price, right? This is not an expensive one.
No, this is definitely a mainstream supermarket brand.
And I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Okay.
got a little of that Crayola finish, that old crayon,
Yeah.
waxy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem. A lot of people think that sort of old musty fusty smell of olive oil, that funk, is olive oil. And that is so not true. And that plasticky, crayony, or even like old sweat sock smell, which is pretty bad, right? That should not be in your olive oil. And that's a sign that it's too old and it's going rancid.
Well, I have to say, up until now, all these oils, I was really looking for nuances of flavor. I was searching for it. This one, it was right there. It was just bad.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to look for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a couple apples.
Yeah, this is a 2-apple oil.
It's a 2-apple oil. Oh no!
Terra Delissa.
Look at that gorgeous bottle, though.
I know. This one, I really wanted to like this when I read about it, when I was choosing it for the story. It's doing well. It's appearing in more stores. This is from Tunisia, which is, one of the biggest olive oil producing countries in the world.
And it's organic, and the label's pretty. It's got a dark bottle. It's glass.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not consistent. It just doesn't have all that lively, bright flavor that you're kind of looking for. Even when it's a mild, buttery oil. This one, it was just like a big flat foot.
It's flat and then plasticky, yeah. Oh, I hope they do better next time.
Yeah.
They got their labels pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I like this one.
I do too.
I like this one a lot.
It's got a little peppery, fresh smell.
There it is.
A little peppery
not bad.
finish, but not a burn.
Yeah, not a
right?
burn.
Pepper, kind of dancing around.
Pepper.
Not like, here comes the Brillo, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's lovely. That has a really strong green olive flavor. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I wish I had better adjectives, but
Yeah, no, it's very,
oh, there it is. The burn just hit. Oh, my eyes are going.
oh no.
This one, it's not unpleasant though. I have to say, I'm having a strong reaction to it.
Yeah.
It finally has flavor. I feel like all the others were just shades of gray. This one is a definite color. It has flavor. It has, I don't know, it has just so much more lively.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it too. It's definitely there. It makes itself
Excuse me.
known. I'm sorry.
It stands up and says hello to you.
This one is Bertolli.
No kidding.
Yes.
I would have never thought that this brand, again, been on the supermarket shelves for years, I grew up seeing this, would have this flavor.
Well, this brand made a big push to improve in the last couple of years. I was bowled over. It went from last place to one of the co-winners. This time it did pretty well, just as we tasted it. One of the things that you'll see here, it's got a couple of countries. It's got 4 there, just like a lot of the supermarket ones. And it has a Best By date, but it also has the harvest date.
I see that.
Which is this year, only a few months ago.
Yeah.
And fresh is best.
Yay, Bertolli.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
That one's a little harsh.
Ah.
Yeah, I can see from your face what you think.
This is why I don't like tasting olive oil.
Yeah, the bad ones are really disappointing, right? Oh, the last one was so good, and now it's like...
It just went right up into the retronasal, and it's just all on fire. Oh, goodness.
It was kind of bitter, too, I thought.
Okay.
This would be really good with something that has a lot of flavor, like a swordfish steak or
I was just going to say this would be great with fish.
Yeah, something with a little fierceness going on, and then
Yes.
you've got something to stand up to it.
That makes
But
sense.
plain, this is a little bit of a hard.
It's harsh.
I don't think I would buy this for my everyday oil, to be
No.
perfectly honest.
This is not my olive oil, but I can see that people would like this.
Oh my goodness.
This is the olive oil I buy.
Yes, yes.
I thought I'd recognize it.
I don't know what's going on. That was not their finest hour.
Oh my
California
goodness.
Olive Ranch has been our longtime favorite. And in this last taste test, it wasn't our top choice. And now I'm starting to get why.
Oh, but there it is. It says it was harvested in 2022.
Okay, there's your problem right there.
Yeah, and at Best By 2025.
So supposedly this is still fine.
Okay.
But 2022 harvest, by the end of 2023, you should be saying goodbye to that. And we are way past that point now. We're in the fall of 2024. So really that oil would have been good probably throughout 2023, but we are well into almost 2025.
And you were looking for more flavor.
Yes.
It would have had it a year ago.
It would have had it a year
Yep.
ago. And that is what happened when we did the taste test with our tasters. We were kind of shocked. These guys usually have it. They're usually pretty mainstream and yummy and good. But if you leave it on a shelf for a year,
But we wound up tasting this. Is this because this is what's all over in all the supermarkets right now? They haven't, released the next round yet?
Yeah, this is apparently what's going on. You know, we
Interesting.
went to 4 different stores here, and I had someone check in California, and there was nothing available.
It was
from
all
the
this
current
vintage.
year. It was all a year old.
I always think of oil as being shelf stable, it's a pantry item. But really, when it comes to olive oil, the date really matters. Almost more than any of the other, the glass bottle and the dark color. The date is really crucial.
Yeah.
Huh. No, it's good. Just a little peppery. But it's not pepper in the back, it's pepper more towards the front, which I like.
Like flavor rather than
Yeah.
burn. Yeah.
And I taste green olives. I like this one.
Yeah?
But then it's done. And then it's gone.
You're
Yeah,
right.
It's
Wow.
It's
It
really,
just when you said that, it was just like, whoop, gone.
yeah, it was like
Like,
just
I didn't even eat the
disappeared.
apple.
Yeah, I don't even know that I need to eat an apple with this one.
Yeah, interesting.
It's like lovely and short. It's like seeing a
Actually-
friend on the street. It's like, hello, hello,
Yeah,
goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, we're out.
It is.
No kidding.
I know, right? Star.
I am shocked. For whatever reason, I have a real negative connotation with this brand, but it's not based on anything. I really liked it today.
Yeah, I think they've been doing better. You know, it is a pretty run-of-the-mill,
Yeah.
decent oil.
Yeah, it reminds me of the first few we tried.
Yeah.
You know, they're pleasant, they're not long lasting, they're good for cooking.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I definitely need a piece of bread. This one has got a real peppery back bite that
It does.
it's good, but woo, fierce. It's robust.
It's fierce is
Yes.
what it is. But I was wanting to balance that heat. I was wanting more fruity notes. Like if you're gonna bring that level of heat, I want to taste olives, you
Yeah.
know? And I kind of got it at the beginning, but then it just kind of faded away. Now, am I looking for something that just doesn't exist?
No, it should have a balance of the olive fruitiness, the pungency, and the bitterness. Now, these, again, are supermarket olive oils. They're really kind of your everyday, you know, your jeans. They're not your evening gown. So, like, it's basically going to have a little bit less going on in most cases, and you're hoping to get that freshness and that nuance as much as you can. But you're not going to find it in most of these oils for daily use.
I like how you compared it to fashion.
Yeah.
This is your jeans, not your evening gown.
But, you know, hoping we're not going to, you know, some of those ones we tasted earlier, they were kind of boring.
Yeah, they were boring.
You don't need boring. I
This
mean,
is not boring.
No, it's definitely, no. I can attest to that. I had to, like, stop and eat bread and drink some water.
Would you buy this?
Yeah, I would use it for
would
certain
too.
things. Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
I like that it was assertive.
It comes with a little personality, which is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have a flavor. Otherwise, buy, you know, vegetable oil.
All right, so which one was it?
Here we go.
You know, this one's been around for a while, but I don't really have an opinion of it one way or the other. I've reached around it for years to buy
Yeah.
something else. I know nothing about this brand.
Yeah. And it's a new bottle. In the past couple of years, they just rebottled, you know,
is
with
a
this
cool
dark
bottle.
glass. It's got this little twisty, which
I
is
like
nice.
that.
It gives you a little grip. You can tell when these brands have made an effort because you can see that harvest date. They're being more transparent with the consumer about how old this oil is and how fresh it is.
Yeah.
And you're getting a more consistent, but also fresher and more appealing product. as a
I could
result.
imagine this with beef, mushrooms, kind of
Oh,
hearty,
mushrooms.
right? Wouldn't
Yeah,
that taste
yeah,
good?
yeah.
Something that sort of matches its intensity.
Parmesan.
Yeah, a little if you
like
drizzle it
good
over like a
Parmesan.
mushroom risotto.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
Oof.
good.
Yeah. This
Huh.
was actually surprising to us when, you know, when we revealed to ourselves what happened after I crunched all the numbers of the tastings. And yeah, this one came out on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
One to watch out for. There's a punch. Boom.
I know, I was very cautious when I was swallowing that.
Boom. All right. It's still going. I'm seeing if it's going to make its way up to my eyes.
Oh, no.
Climbing. It had a lot at the beginning, and I was expecting it to kind of blow up, but it didn't. It just kind of got big, and then it dissipated. What's left behind is wonderful.
Yeah, it just left a little faint bitterness, but
Yeah.
in a good way.
In
like
a
you
great
said, the
way.
grassiness, the lemon, yeah.
I actually get some more nuances of the sort of the flavors I've been looking for. I
Yeah.
get it here.
From the smell right through the first taste, the middle, and the end, it had just lots of stuff
I
coming
can
up.
feel it right here.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to say, oh, he was
Oh,
German.
really?
When he tasted something like, he's like, I can taste it right here.
Wow.
I can feel it right here. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's like where
cool.
your dimples would be.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Lucchini.
I've stayed away from this one for years because,
Really?
yeah, I did a tasting years ago, and this one just was too much for me. It burned. It was the one that turned me off of olive oil tasting.
Oh, no.
But now I love it.
Well, you know, this oil can be super robust. And I'm looking at the back of this and I see Harvest 2023. And we
Ooh.
are late in 2024.
So
in
that's
this
good,
case,
though.
this one might have mellowed in the right direction. We don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it's, you know, it's also much better with food in general than a lot of the other ones that kind of disappear or get boring. But the consensus of the larger group was that it was too much for
much.
some people.
Interesting.
So
Not for us.
yeah, now we
can
handle it. We've lined them up in the order of our taster's preference. Now, you know, we have a whole group of people, and so it becomes sort of the general consensus.
Right.
But from this end, this is what we like best, down to what we liked least. So, what was your favorite?
Last place, baby.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
well, you know what? I could taste it. And I think in previous years that scared me, that flavor, that robustness scared me. With this, I can't wait to pair it with meats at home. And I've avoided buying this because I thought it was too much for me, but now I know it's not. But it's definitely meant to go with stronger foods.
Yes.
I liked both of these. I think for every day, these two are quite amazing. This surprised me quite a bit.
Yep.
I thought this would not be as great as it was. And for kind of an everyday price point, I think this is kind of incredible.
Yes.
These kind of just all tasted the same. They were just, like I said, the shades of gray. That was this middle ground. You could be fine with any of them. I think it would come down, as you said, to harvest date and maybe price.
Yeah.
These, I mean, was it this one I choked on? And this is the one I buy. But now I'm gonna start looking, paying more attention. I kind of just reached for the bottle I know.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about this in a while. And this one, me in last place. I'm a rebel, what can I say?
Well, that's fantastic because everybody's taste is a little different. I think as people get more familiar with olive oil, they tend to go for bigger flavor. You might start with a sort of mild, buttery, personally a little boring ones. And then as you really learn about it and you're seeking out flavor and you're tasting it in comparison, with foods, you might go for a little bit more of a punch and a little bit more, it's doing something. It's not just oil.
And also, I liked what you said because you knew the background of the oils. That this Bertolli, they've really been trying hard to bring their oils up a notch, and you can taste the difference.
Yes. Now that we've had 10 olive
How much
oils,
olive oil do you think we drank?
I don't know. We were kind of modest in our sipping.
Tablespoons?
Yeah, maybe. What are you going to have for lunch?
Mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Just a big bowl of mashed potatoes. How about you?
I'm probably going to eat some bread, something to kind of soak it up a little bit. But yeah, I really enjoyed this.
I really enjoyed this too. Thank you. It was the first time I was able to taste olive oils, and it was pleasurable.
I'm so glad.
Yeah,
I'm so glad
you.
we changed that for you.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming today.
My pleasure.
Here are the taster's official results. Lucchini Premium Select, Filippo Berio, and Terra Delissa Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oils were at the bottom of our list. We can recommend these, but only with reservations. In our recommended category, we have California Olive Ranch, Pompeian Smooth, Colavita Premium Selection, Star, Botticelli, and Bertolli Rich Taste. And finally, we can highly recommend our winner, Carapelli Original Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Thank you for watching the taste test. Be sure to like this video, click the bell for notifications, and visit americastestkitchen.com for more reviews of your favorite ingredients. See you next time.